Gosh, man.
I can edit that out.
I like how you're more close to, like, in the middle of it. Bloopers. Action.
Hey guys,
Hello.
long time no see.
Times have changed.
I just thought we'd sit down and actually update you a little bit on where we've been these past, I want to say maybe 6, 7, 8 months, because things have been a little sporadic with our videos. A lot's happened. So before we stopped like regularly uploading was right before our California trip. So the California trip was kind of just like a nice reset for us. And then when we got back,
all heck broke loose.
Yeah, so as soon as we got back, because like right before we went, we had put the offer in on the house. And so as soon as we got back, it was just like boom, boom, boom. We'd already been approved for the house. We got the house. We closed on it. And then all throughout May was just spent moving. So like, obviously we had put everything to the side for that because we needed to focus on moving and not overexerting ourselves with that, because moving plus our jobs were 2 full-time jobs in itself.
Which we'll get to the jobs part in a bit.
Yeah. So then we did post a little bit in June. We kind of posted some of the videos that we had already at that point. And then we had updated on we got Rosie. So we did adopt another dog.
Rosie,
come here, girl. Well, let's rest it up. Yeah.
Oh, she's coming from there.
All right, Rosie.
Rosie, come here.
Sweet Rosie girl. We're starting to refer to the dogs as twins because they're both 2 years old. For us, it's a Shepherd Terrier mix. She's a German Shepherd mix. And they are the same size and they basically act like twins. Like, not just siblings, but like they're basically twins. You can't tell, she's a big old baby. Loves attention. So, we've spent the past 6 months adjusting with her around.
Okay, Rosie. Rosie,
You're right, girl.
don't lick me. She's a licker.
She's
are
been...
Are you trying to join me up here?
She's adorable. We love her. She's annoying, though. She loves
Rosie,
to lick.
get down. Get down. Get down.
Rosetta Lynn. There you go.
She still struggles to listen.
So, as you saw in... Well, I guess right now it's this week's, but like last week we had uploaded 2 videos, kind of what we had left of vlog footage. I finally got around to editing some of it, plus I finally made a new intro, which I'll get to that in a minute. Hey girl. So the stuff from July, I want to say it was actually on our 1 or 2 year anniversary of us being together, was when I had officially been promoted from team member to section leader. And I mean, I guess you could say for most everyone, not a lot kind of entailed with that promotion. But for me, I had already been doing a lot of like hands-on stuff with the company, projects, and I'm still doing a lot of that stuff. And it's just like, it's been keeping me busy. I've been exhausted. So, we've had some of that stuff going on. And then actually August comes around. We got a new car, which we have just a tiny little bit from that. Not much, but just a little bit. So that, was a huge update there for us as we actually went out and got a car.
We got rid of the Mazda.
Yeah, so no longer have an SUV. We have 2 sedans.
Which is sad because the Mazda was my first car.
Yeah, he was almost in tears. And
I mean, when it's your first car and, you had a lot of memories with it, friends and family, it's hard to lose. And it's the first time I've actually, had to get rid of the car. She was like, "Oh, get over it. You'll be fine."
And were you fine?
Shut up. I'm still a little sentimental.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have one of the key fobs that I didn't give to them.
Yeah.
Which is, I honestly don't care. Not everybody gets.
Yeah.
So.
I want to say both of the stuff started in September. So September, I started training for the next leadership promotion. And he applied and interviewed for a new job.
With our local sheriff's department.
So it wasn't much of an interview, he said.
It was really just going in, receiving information like, are you willing to do this? Are you going to waste, or are you just going to waste our time? Say you are and just going to leave. Because the sheriff's office where I work at, I'm not gonna say, it has a high turnover rate, because you're dealing with a lot of people, of course. So that's just one of those things where it's tough.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed it.
So the hiring process, it took a little bit. So he did the application and quote unquote interview back in September, but he didn't get us started until November because there was a whole process with like background check stuff, had to wait for like references to get in.
Which, just if anyone joins the law enforcement field, make sure that, I mean, for me, it was a bit of a struggle because a lot of people are also busy. And it was also that weird time where school was still kind of like starting back when I applied. So that was still going on, along with, everybody was, finishing or just finishing their travels. So it's one of those things where you kind of need to, but just make sure that everybody who's there, you keep them in line and say, hey, because it took four attempts for everybody to finish the thing. And make sure when they do submit their application that they email it back to the person who's requesting it. Everybody was replying back to the automated email that would not go to them.
Yeah.
So whenever you do that, make sure you tell people, read the instructions, and make sure you have them copy that into a PDF and send to the actual person that's requesting them. So that was the one problem we had the most. Well, I had the most with people. So she actually listened.
Yeah, because it wasn't just the 5 references they needed. It was sent to every single person in the family. So, like, his parents, even in-laws, like, his parents, my parents, his siblings, my brother.
I had a lot of phone calls and texts, and like, hey, how do you actually respond to it? And you're like, I got to the point where I was just like, it doesn't.
They were mad at him.
Yeah. I was just, I just got to the point where I said, listen, my recruiter said, hey, as long as they just say something nice about you, I don't care. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
And that's when everyone was like, oh, okay. So, but the funny part was one of the most commonly used from both of our families was the wedding situation that we had. As like, what was the question?
Something about
how I handle a certain situation or something like that.
It was like how your judgment, like a judgment call you made, taking charge of a situation kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
And ow!
Sorry.
You just hit my shin.
I'm sorry.
Miss Boney over here.
That was my heel.
Still. That should hurt.
Sorry.
So that's just, one of the big parts.
So in a mixture of all of that, he actually got injured at his old job and started workers' comp with that. Which kind of threw up my back while moving boxes. And it was quite the situation to deal with because obviously they knew he was leaving, but he hadn't officially put in a 2-week notice yet because he was waiting for everything at the department to go through. And it was just like, they didn't want to take charge for it. It was a whole situation.
It was just basically, I was stuck in limbo for a while.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until finally we were just like, I was just like, you know what, we're just going to take the initiative on this. It's just, and then, because they were like, oh yeah, it's just sciatica. And all
it's not going to be covered. And then
he
went to our chiropractor. He already had an appointment scheduled with our chiropractor. So he went in and mentioned what happened. They're like, no, this is not sciatica.
Because when it comes to sciatica, you can't really feel your legs or your toes.
Well, and it wasn't hurting in the right area. Sciatica is in like the extremely lower part of your back. And his was like, this was like mid back, like way up here more.
Yeah. So
it wasn't even in the right area.
Yeah. So that's where it was just like, oh, and then when I was like, yeah, it's not sciatica, because I went in the next day and they're like, oh, how are you feeling? I'm like, well, I went to the doctor and they said it's not sciatica, and then
that was when they're like, oh, we actually got to do something now.
Like, oh, he saw a doctor. Crud.
Yeah.
So that's when they were just like, well, I guess we can't get around this time.
Yeah. So
in fact, funny part, tomorrow I have
a follow up with the chiropractor
about the workers' comp stuff. you know.
Because since he left the job, we've not really heard much updates
Yeah.
on it, and he's obviously since then got better.
I haven't heard anything from that company. I haven't received a letter or anything.
Yeah.
So.
But then, so he finally got to all that stuff. November, he finally started his new job. And
didn't take long to have something happen to me, huh? You there?
You have problems.
I know.
And then we celebrated our 1-year wedding anniversary.
A whole year.
Which we still can't believe.
It still feels like we just got married, honestly.
Yeah. But so obviously we've had a lot going on. We've been enjoying ourselves, but I've since the beginning of September have been on overtime, whether it's been the messing up what day I'm off and then it me being off the day that all of our part-timers need. What?
I said, excuse me, I yawned.
Yep. So it's either they're scheduling me off on the day that all the part-timers have stuff going on for school and they need to have me work, or it's they're actually scheduling me like 5 to 6 days. I'm scheduled on overtime. Like next week between the two locations, I'm like 45.5 hours before breaks for scheduling. So, there's just like all this stuff going on. And on top of that, if it has been any of that stuff, I've been working on a lot of projects with one of our now directors. So I've been going in when I'm not scheduled just to try to get these videos and stuff done. So it's annoying. I've been exhausted, to say the least. And then this week, I had mentioned about, like, September, I had started training for a new leadership position promotion. And this week, we're training the store owner and officially getting promoted. So the training started yesterday, so we have 2 different groups because we were so large. We had part of our, like, we didn't have, like, our full, like, first day yesterday, but we did have, like, one session with the whole group. And then tomorrow and Friday, my group is testing, and then Friday is everyone comes together and gets promoted, gets shirts and everything. And I know I have this. I'm just nervous because I'm like, it's been so long in the waiting that I'm just ready to get this over with and just be like, put that shirt on and be done. So that's kind of been interesting. So it's just, we've had a lot going on. It's just kind of been taking a bit of our time. We're gonna still try to get videos out. It might not be like completely regular, but we'll do our best.
Yeah.
But as you saw, we do have a new intro and outro. So I did the outro completely on my own. The intro, I did one whole thing. And the director that I've been working with on these other videos, he's been kind of mentoring me in video editing.
Produced by.
I'm not going to do like an actual like physical shown shout out to him, but I will give him a shout out because I did have like the base of the intro done, and he went in and he's like, no, that's cringe, and he just like changed a lot of things and he got it to what it is now. And so I definitely want to give him a shout out on this. So thank you so much for doing that. He's definitely become big brother to me, and I love having him around at work. He loves to pick on me.
He's all right.
You become good friends with him too.
I guess.
But so obviously I have someone kind of mentoring me in the video editing, so hopefully we can get things looking a lot better with this channel. We've been doing our best. I'm still gonna, things might be sporadic still as I go through and get this promotion and then have other stuff come up that I'm working on. So
all right, enough about her, now me.
What's going on with you?
So as you know, I have a new job. I guess I'll be a little bit kind of more specific. I work at the jail. So it's the county jail. It's fun. I enjoy it. It's different. Deal with 5-year-olds and adult bodies basically most of the time. Not all the time, of course. So you deal with a lot of ranges from, small theft to, murderers, it's just how it is. Of course, I'm not going to go into full detail. I did sign a contract and everything to keep everything more confidential, so I won't go into complete details on things, and I will definitely leave out names for the safety of my coworkers, because even though we're not in such turbulent times as we were back in like 2020 2021 area, we still have to watch out what we say and do. And in fact, anytime we go to work or we go home, we have to make sure either we have a jacket over our uniforms or we take off our shirt, because there are people who do want to kill us. So that's one of those things that we try to avoid the most. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not going to go into complete detail when it comes to things. So I started, oh gosh, it was like the
15th.
The 15th, yeah. I was thinking 15th. I just like wasn't as sure in my head.
15th.
Yeah. So
And the numbers person.
yeah. So I started that day. I basically went from the HR place to the sheriff's department to a doctor, back to the sheriff's department, and then to the jail. And then, so of course, at that time, I didn't have my L1, which L1 is basically like a temporary license that you get for a year through TCOLE, the Texas Law Enforcement, you can look it up. It's TCOLE. They basically give you a temporary license, and then you have to go to jail school. So mine is currently valid till January of 2025. Yeah. But I start jail school soon anyway, so that's not a problem. But basically L1 is basically you are allowed to be around inmates. So if you don't have that and something happens, I can be held liable for something, and so can the jail, and you don't want that. So what they did was just put me in the bonds office for half the day, just to make sure, I was there to help out. So I did that, got off at 5, which usually, so my shifts are from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So you're working 12 hours straight. It's a bit grueling mentally.
His sleep schedule's off.
Yeah, it's a mental
hurdle
to get over, because I'm waking up at 5 in the morning, because we have to be at roll call at 6:45. So you have to be there, and it takes a while for me to get there. I have to take the highway. So that's just how it is, and you're just like, oh, great. So I get up at 5. It takes me about a good while to get on, because you're having to put on, special pants, put on your duty belt, have a black undershirt. You have to wear a black undershirt, in case someone, spits on you, blood gets on you, whatever. So then you can just take off your main shirt that they give you, and then you have still an undershirt, and you can just put on a new, shirt that they provide in the little closet area that we have. So yeah, you do that. So I did that. That went on. Worked with my JTO, my jailer training officer. And not even a week or two later, we get in. So before I skip to that part, the next day, my full day, there was a fight in one of the wings that we were working at. And that was a huge whoa, hold on. So it's one of those situations where you have to think on your feet, and thankfully my JTO, my corporal, and some of my other people were there, so they were able to go in. I wasn't allowed to do it because I didn't know how to handle the situation, because I had not been to jailer school yet. So that's one of those reasons why I couldn't step in, because you have to learn so many procedures, and then they teach you how to properly apply handcuffs, because there's a certain way, and you don't want to cause problems somehow, so forth. Even though it's basically simple, you have to get certified, and it's a 3-hour, instruction first. You could do something maybe an hour time span, whatever. So yeah, that happened, and then the weeks later, my GTO, we were in a certain wing, I won't say, and he got punched in the eye by an inmate while we were, doing a walkthrough, because so in this one area you have to walk every 15 minutes compared to the main wings where you have to walk every 45 minutes per regulations. So that's just how it is. So we did that. He got punched. We had SRT deployed to help get that guy in controlled, so that was the situation. And then last week, we had another situation where I was walking the wing, and one of the inmates was feeling sad. So this is a time where inmates get really sad and depressed because they're not going to be home for, Christmas, then Thanksgiving, now Christmas. So they get a little bit more emotional. So he got emotional. He threw punches at me. I dodged the one to the face, but he hit me in the gut pretty hard that I was winded. Thankfully, my corporal was walking with me, so
he didn't like that.
Yeah. So he tackled the inmate. I was sent to medical for an hour. They were, doing every check available, just to see if I was, hurt, bleeding internally, especially because that's your abdominal area here. That's more sensitive than, anywhere else on your body. So they want to be...
There's no protection.
Yeah, so you want to make sure. And in jails, we don't wear body armor. Only time we ever do is when we're transporting a prisoner to the hospital or the courthouse. But now we mostly do court in the jail for safety reasons. And limited exposure because COVID is still happening. So
it is?
Yeah. Yeah, in the jail, we get a lot of inmates who come in with COVID. It's weird. And we don't even know how. So it's quite common, actually. But everybody's required to take a TB test with tuberculosis test before they do it, do anything. So, except for the people with COVID, they have to be isolated for like 2 weeks or something like that. I don't know anymore. Because the rules have changed over time. So, so that was basically like, wow, welcome to the jail. So.
And he's still there.
I'm still there. It's not gonna deter me.
I think he's liking it better than his old job.
It's like I have more of a bigger family there, and we all have each other's backs, It's just one of those things that it's nice. FedEx were smaller, yeah, and it kind of sucked when we were down people, because then we would have to like triple our efforts. But the jail, you don't have that problem, because you always have someone from another shift come in to be to do overtime. So that's usually helpful for us. But thankfully, we've not been having that much problems. We're still needing to hire people, so hey, if you want to come work at the jail, you already know where we. Do they know what city we're in? Possibly. If anyone has any questions, DM us on our Instagram, and I will send you the link to where you can apply, because we need jailers, like desperately, especially A shift. Shout out to A shift, we're the best, no doubt about it. But in the end, you have to remember, even though they may be in a secured area, doesn't mean that it's safe all the time. We have to constantly watch our backs anytime, so we're always on high alert. A lot of times the inmates, they're chill with us, and we're, the one thing I remember when I first started was that we had a new guy, did not respect the prisoners, and that caused a lot of problems for him, and he quit quickly. Because with them, it's a matter of respect. You got to earn their respect, and they got to earn your respect. So a lot of them have earned my respect, and I've earned their respect. So, and most of the time, we're chill. We'll just talk. there's times where I'm doing a walkthrough and I just stand there, talk to them for like, a minute or two, and then just like, hey, I got to get going, finish my walk. Afterwards, we can talk, more once I'm done. So, but they do request a lot of things, and that jail works basically 24/7. That place never stops. So we are basically always going. So, yeah, I highly recommend doing it. But if you do want to join law enforcement, it's not for the faint of heart. I do recommend doing ride-alongs, day and nights, because that'll get you to experience what you want, because you'll not get what you want when you start. But yeah, I can honestly go into a whole video for myself about this, but I'm not. So if you guys do want that might be a later video. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's fun. It's a good environment to work with the people. So we give a lot of each other crap. We swear a lot. But I mean, you work with so many people, you kind of have to, especially with the inmates, because they swear at you. You gotta swear back. It's just how it goes. But it's whatever. You have it's something different. So, but yeah, if you're interested working at the current jail I'm at, and you're in the possible area, I highly recommend it. So just have to see how it goes. But yeah, anything else for you?
One video we do have coming up is this coming up Sunday. We're going up to Grapevine and we're gonna go see Ice. So I did the video on that last year. We're gonna do it again this year, probably with this one because he's got the better camera at this point.
And this is the first time I'm going.
Yeah.
We're gonna see her favorite show,
The Grinch.
Our theme here, basically in the house this year, is Grinch. So
Go grab that.
Oh. Give me one moment.
We're going up with people from my work, and we're meeting my family there. So I'm really excited to have this whole group. Life size.
I would have thought he would have been a little bit taller.
But so we got this huge Grinch too.
$30.
I've also been working on some sewing projects, so I may try to get some videos on that. I made a mistake on one of them, and I'm finally almost done getting the mistake undone, so I can actually go back and redo the whole thing and make it. I was very, very stupid. I will just say that. I will maybe do a video on that later, so you can understand what happened, but yeah, so that's kind of where we've been, what we've been up to. We do plan on having some more videos out. They might not come out as quickly as you'd like. I may try to do a video Friday with the promotion stuff, but just know that next week when videos come out, I've been promoted. So.
And then, again, if you guys want a video more about my job, again, I will be leaving out a lot of information. In no way does this affect the county I'm working for. And this is not a paid advertisement or anything for them. This is just pure...
He likes it.
I enjoy it. It's something I wanted to do since I was a kid. I might hang out there for a year or two, and then possibly go to the academy and become a deputy. And then I can, if I want to, I can still work at the jail, and I'll just be, instead of officer, I'll be deputy. So I can do that, or I can actually go join and drive around the county and do all that fun stuff. But that's just up to me. I would get paid more. I would definitely get promoted quicker. So it's one of those things where it's the best. And honestly, I also will say, if you do want to go into law enforcement, I highly recommend working at the jail first, because you get to learn the lingos and you get to know how to speak to people, than if you went straight from going to the academy to on the streets. That's just how I am about it, and that's how most people do it in our county. So that's just how I would recommend doing it.
Yeah.
So
we will eventually get around to doing a house tour. I'm sorry it's taken so long to get there, but we also have a ton of cleaning to do around here.
we're still unpacking.
Yeah, we're still unpacking. We're both, I've been on overtime. He's adjusting to a new sleep schedule. So things aren't getting done around here. Things are just a huge mess. So there's trash everywhere.
Because of Rosie.
She's kind of fanatic in that. So, yeah, we will, as soon as we can, we'll get a house tour video so we can show you guys our nice new house that we're working on.
Honestly, you probably should have done that when you first got the house. So, yeah, but that's our life updates. Yeah. You won't see me in uniform. I'm not going to go in that because safety. And yeah. But if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Comment down below if you have any useful information for anything, or if you're interested in more videos. I mean, hey, give us recommendations on what you want to know, because honestly, content is hard to come by nowadays. Things are different for us. We're not like when we were at Texas State. Everything was like, oh, something weird happened over here. There's always something new every day. So, and we're busy,
Yeah.
So give us ideas on what you want to know, what you hear.
Video ideas you might want to see from us.
Yeah. And, again, if you're interested in where I work at, DM, just hit us up on our Instagram, and I will respond and send you guys a link. But do it if you're actually serious. I will say I'm not going to just send it to you and you're just not going to take it seriously. Or you're just going to try to use it for some sort of advantage. I am not going to do that. So, yeah, that's just how it is.
Hey, we might do a reacting to our wedding video. We could do that for you guys. That's an idea.
A whole year.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's just how everything's going. Again, hit that like button. See you guys later.